Wow, just like that, in 2 days, it's going to be a new year. Can you believe that? Where has this year gone? So much stuff has happened this past year. Some good and some bad. But we're here. A new year is upon us. And with every single new year, people tend to make resolutions. And oftentimes, a lot of people tend to make the same resolution year after year to lose weight. But every time with the resolution, no matter how noble it might be, of losing weight, a lot of people tend to not stick with it, fall off, maybe in like March, end of February or March. You kind of fall off of it. And you're like, well, I'll try again next year. So instead of doing the same thing year after year, making the same resolution, and then not even following it through or seeing it all the way through and accomplishing a goal of losing weight or becoming healthier, I submit to you, let's challenge ourselves and maybe make a different resolution. So I want to bring to you a possibility for a different resolution. This is what this video is going to be about. So I hope you're ready to dive into this and just buckle up and press in. So let's dive into this. Now, if I was to ask you, how many of you struggle with human approval, like craving human approval or wanting human approval, whether you know it or not, subconsciously or consciously, what would you say? If I said, show of hands, how many of you struggle with human approval? Would you honestly raise your hand or not? Now, some of you who may not raise your hand are actually being honest. You don't really struggle with it. And that's great. But some of you who don't raise your hand are lying to yourself. And you don't want to be honest because you're like, well, what will people think? What will people think if they see that I actually crave human approval? Well, I have a couple of clips that I think will help explain this or hopefully open our eyes to this idea of human approval. And it's from the Stay True podcast, the Madison Pruitt Trout, host, and she was talking to this lady, Jess Connolly. And Jess was kind of explaining this idea of human approval. Now there's two clips, and I'm going to play them back to back. And then I want to highlight some stuff from those clips and just explain a little bit about it. So go ahead and check these out.
It will never be enough. It will never be enough. I once heard this wild metaphor about how they kill wolves in Alaska. So here's how they kill wolves in Alaska. If like a hunter wants to kill a wolf, what it will do is bury a knife, like a really sharp knife covered in blood and frozen in the ice or in the ground, so that the wolf will come and smell the blood and will start licking it. And it will want the blood so much that it will keep licking it until it then cuts itself and bleeds to death. That's very graphic and disturbing. That's what a lot of us are doing with human approval. If we get into any game, if we get into a relationship, if we start posting on social media, if we go into any calling, if we step into any part of our life wanting human approval will take us out every time. It always turns. And this is the bad news. Like the tide is always turning in culture. What is beautiful, what's acceptable, and love yourself enough to say, like, I'm not going to bleed to death over this. I'm not going to start running after human approval in a way that will take me out. Now, to maybe some more mature believers or people who have been walking with the Lord a little bit longer, I would give this little bit tougher word. God will not be mocked, and he will not share his glory with another. So when you're getting ready for church and you're having a subconscious narrative about who's going to think your outfit's cute, you are trying to steal God's glory from himself. You got to stop. Anytime we are wanting praise that should be reserved for the Lord, we are trying to steal his glory. And I think we forget that. And many of us, I believe, want our lives wrung out for the glory of God, but also we are just secretly running after it ourselves. And he says really clearly, like, you can receive your honor here, or you can get it in heaven. And I don't know about you, but I do know about you. But like, I want the glory that God gives to his sons and daughters, the co-heirs of Christ. I want it in heaven.
Yeah.
I don't want it here. I don't want this, how none of us want to peak in high school. Like, I don't want to peak on earth, like,
So true.
I don't want this to be the best it is for me.
Yeah.
And so I would just say, like, noticing that narrative, anytime you are craving human approval, you are trying to steal glory from God.
Wow.
And being really honest about that will help you live free from that desire.
Yeah.
Now, is that interesting or not? The illustration or analogy that Jess was talking about in that first clip about how wolves in Alaska, when hunters or whatnot want to kill a wolf, they will bury this bloody knife in like the snow, and the wolf will kind of dig at it until they even cut themselves and bleed out because they want that bloody knife. And that's what we do with human approval. We keep striving for it and scratching and digging for human approval, so much so that we will hurt ourselves in the process and kill ourselves in the process, whether it's emotionally or physically, because society or other people will say you're too fat or you're too skinny or you don't look pretty, whatever the case may be. So you're constantly digging for stuff to make you try to fit in so that society and humans will approve of you. You will constantly dig at this bloody knife until it hurts you to the point of it hurting you. And then in the second clip, she was talking about how for those of you that walk or are Christians for a little bit longer and you kind of struggle with outfits to wear, about how you will look good at church. And she says, God will not be mocked. If you are trying to dress, going to church so that you can look good, trying to steal the attention that is rightfully due towards God, God will not be mocked. And I don't think a lot of us think about this, especially going to church. You're just like, I want to look nice. But is it, I want to look nice and bring my best and present my best to God? If that's your mindset, then that's great. Because I'm not saying, and she was not saying in the clip, Jess was definitely not saying that you have to dress like a bum going to church because it's all about God getting the glory. No, you have to bring your best foot forward. You have to bring your best to God. But if you're dressing your best because you want people to compliment you at church, nice outfit, man, you look dashing today. Wow, look at you. Isn't that an expensive dress, or isn't that an expensive suit? Wow, he's wearing a Ralph Lauren, or wow, she's wearing whatever. If that is the goal of why you're dressing, so that people can compliment you, then that is wrong. That is wrong. You can't be dressing like that trying to draw attention to yourself, especially in church. And I don't know if anybody has ever mentioned that. So when I heard Jess say that, I was like, That's actually pretty good. That's pretty good. I think a lot of people need to hear this. So perhaps maybe this new year, make a resolution of making sure that you're not craving human approval, whatever that might look like in your life. It might not be dressing to the nines and having the most fly outfit, as they say, or the most put together outfit. It might be having the newest shoes, whatever it might be, the newest, latest gadget, the newest phone, the biggest house, whatever it might be that you see yourself craving human approval. Make this your resolution, to challenge yourself to not do that, to pull back, look at yourself, look at the decisions that you're making, and take an inventory of it and see if you're making them because you crave human approval, or if there is a deeper reason why you're making the decisions that you're making. And just go into the new year looking at this and maybe making some changes. So I thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next year. But the first video of the new year, I want to kick off a new series, and this is the one I was telling you a few videos back that I was going to be talking about. It's going to be for men. So I'm going to call this Dear Men. I did a series a while back called Dear Women, so this is going to be called Dear Men. And I hope you're going to be ready for this, because I want to tackle this right off the bat, starting the new year off, addressing men and challenging the men. So I hope you will press in and tune in for that, because it's going to be a good series. It's going to be either a 3 or 4 part series. I haven't really decided yet how long it's going to be, so stay tuned for that as well. But thank you so much for watching this week. Enjoy the New Year celebration. Stay safe out there. Don't do too wild of partying, and make wise decisions. And I'll see you next year. So until then, don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you next year. God bless.